Hey, so it's spring break, and I can guarantee that at some point a kid's going to come in here because I have 4 of them and interrupt this video. If they do, I'm going to try to edit it out. But I've gotten the same question over and over lately, and so instead of just doing a video answering a bunch of questions, I thought I would try to just focus on this one question that I've gotten lately. Why did you do keto? Was it for the weight loss? Was it because of your PCOS? Was it for migraines? Or was it for the simple fact of clarity? Yeah, I took my case off so you can see me a little bit better. It was all of those things. I did it mainly for weight loss, yes, but my PCOS was so out of control, and fine, it'll be a little bit TMI. I mean, I would go for like 6 to 8 weeks before my cycle would stop. You don't want to live like that, trust me. And the simple fact that I never looked at myself in the mirror until I really wanted to change the way I was eating. And then when I did start taking a look in the mirror, it wasn't a pretty sight. I had those brown patches all over my body, which apparently has something to do with fatty liver. Those have subsided. My PCOS, like I said, my cycles were normal after 90 days. And my migraines were gone after 90 days, except for this past January. And that was because of stress. I was under a lot of stress this past January. And stress raised my cortisol, which caused me to stall out. It caused my migraines to be worse and worse every day. And I also had like a cold or something on top of it, and I was taking some allergy pills, which I found out later on also can stall you in a weight loss. So the other part of the question was how? How did I do this? How did I get the willpower to make it past the first few weeks? I wish I had an answer for that. I really do. I think so many people have asked me that, and I don't have a proper answer for it. And I feel terrible that I don't, because I see these people struggling and they want to just push back and get through that hump of letting go of not just sugar, like bread, donuts, pasta, even rice, because, you know, they always told you that rice was healthy, and it's really not. And I wish I had an answer for it. All I can remember back in the beginning is that I just made sure that I had the kind of foods that I liked the most that were low carb in the house. So chicken, steak, hamburger, cheeses, peppers. I know some people are on the fence about peppers, but back then when I had a lot of weight to lose, it didn't hurt me as bad. I wish I had an easy answer for those. I feel terrible because I'm seeing people try this. They see me as a mom. They're a mom. They have a lot of weight to lose, like I had a lot of weight to lose. And they're doing all this research. They're reading. They're watching videos. They're taking notes. And they're going out and they're trying to buy the right foods. And then they get so far in and something happens. I think it may be the, what do you call it? The addiction to the carbs and the sugars will come creeping back in. A lot of them are Coke or pop drinkers, and so it's hard to switch over to diet for them. I really, really wish there was an easy answer. You have to want this. You have to really, really want it for it to work. And I really, really wanted this. I mean, I've always wanted it. I remember 2-3 years back when I made different types of YouTube videos back then, and I would never put my face in them because of the way that I looked. And I never, ever, ever let people take pictures of me. I think at one point, a family member had taken a few pictures of me and posted them on Facebook. And I text them real fast. I'm like, take those pictures down. Take them down right now. Please. I don't want anybody seeing me. And I hadn't seen myself from someone else's view. I'd only seen what I seen, which was right here in the mirror, because I never looked below my neck. I never paid attention to any of that. And when I seen myself like that, even back then, I was like, oh, I'm going to change. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I tried to do the regular diet, lower the calories, and it wasn't working. So what did I do? I gave up. I went out and I bought a bag of those circus peanuts, and I ate the whole bag before I got home. The whole bag was gone before I even pulled in the driveway. Because I'm like, I'm just going to give up. And I did. Several times I gave up. But the only way I made it this far is because, I don't know, I wish I had an answer for you. You have to want it. That's the only answer I can give you, is you have to really want to get healthy. You have to want to better yourself. Even lately, I've noticed myself being picky, even about the keto foods that I eat. Because, you know, hearing things from other people about organic and non-processed meats and stuff like that. So I've been doing that. I've been buying healthier meats. I did make another trip to Sprouts recently. I got like next to nothing in groceries for $40. It was a nice experience to go in there and see all the stuff that they had as far as vitamins and supplements, and they had like all the different MCT oils, but they also had a lot of fruits, and they had a lot of vegetables that I can't have. Even my husband, while we were there, he picked out the biggest regular russet potato that they had. It was 1 pound for this one potato, and he bought it, and he ate it that night. It didn't bother me. I didn't even want it. Once you get into this and you are fat adapted, which I never heard of that word until probably about 8 months into this journey. But once you are truly fat adapted, you can walk past the breads, you can walk past the donuts, you can walk past the sugars. You don't want those things. You know what I crave when I'm done with my fast at the end of the night and I am starving? I think one of my favorite things is a big, fat, rare steak. I think that is something that I crave a lot of. And I don't want it cooked on the stove or in the oven or in a cast iron. I want it off the grill. So my loving husband, because I don't push this on him, will go out in the pouring rain and start up the grill and cook me a big fat steak. And I love that. And that's one of the things I crave. I crave steak. I crave bacon. I crave... a few times a month, I do crave chocolate. And the Lily's does give me a little bit of a tummy upset, so I've kind of switched over to the 100% cocoa. And I like melt that down with some coconut oil and add just a little bit of stevia. And that kind of gets me through that time of the month when I do need something sweet. I know a lot of people, like I share some of my recipes on Instagram and they're like, ew, how do you eat that? Like my mug cake recipe. It is, I put in like a half a table. Now, this is how I do it now. I'm going to tell you real quick. A half a tablespoon of butter melted, a large egg, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a half tablespoon of cocoa powder, a few drops of stevia, and I mix that up real well, and I throw it in the microwave for 50 seconds, and I eat it like that. It is literally egg and a half a tablespoon of cocoa powder. That's like 1 carb. And they're like, oh, it tastes eggy. To me, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I like eggs. Maybe that's something that doesn't bother me. But that little chocolate cake satisfies me in the sweet area. I've even done other weird things with eggs. And someone else is like, oh, how did you do that? How do you eat that? I take 2 eggs. I put them in a bowl. 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of almond milk, unsweetened. I mix those up, 3 drops of stevia, and sometimes like I'll do like a little dash of cinnamon, sometimes I don't. I whip those up in the pan with some butter, and then I take butter on the side and I do the couple drops of stevia and the maple extract. So it kind of makes like a fake syrup because, I mean, you can always buy the sugar-free syrups if you want. There's sorbitol in them, okay? I don't know what that does. Because every time I say, oh, sorbitol is fine, someone's going to come in and like, oh my God, sorbitol is like the worst thing for you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. Fine. I use butter and maple extract. And I make syrup now. And I will pour that over those eggs that were just mixed with almond milk. And that tastes like French toast to me. And someone's like, there is no effing way that tastes like French toast. French toast is on, get that thick Texas toast bread, and you dredge it in the egg, and then you throw it in a pan with some margarine. Did you see that? Margarine. Okay. And then you put syrup all over it, regular syrup, like some thick maple syrup, and then they put the powdered sugar on top of that with it. Fine, I'll take some erythritol, and I promise that I will blend it in the blender till it's powder, and I will put that over those eggs. But that is about as far as I'm going to go with it. And I'm full. I am full after 2 eggs with some almond milk and some butter. I'm not picky. I think part of that is how I've made it this far, is I'm not picky. I can be happy going all day without eating and just drinking water, unsweetened tea, black coffee with some pink salt. And then at the end of the night, I have my meal. And some nights I don't have my 5 to 7 cups of vegetables. I know in my last video I said that. That's not every night. I don't always get that in. Especially when I do my grocery shopping once a month, and about 2-3 weeks into the month, all my veggies are either gone or they're starting to go bad, so we try to eat them up real fast. And then like the other 2 weeks of the month before I go back and do my big grocery shopping, I eat a lot of meats and cheeses and fats. So it's like the first half of the month I get my veggies in, and the second half of the month, I can use the frozen vegetables. I use the fresh during the first half of the month and the frozen during the second half. The low carb wraps. I haven't had those since January 1st because of everybody yelling at me. My husband last night was like, if you want queso with us tonight, throw you a wrap in the air fryer, make you some chips, and we'll all have queso together. Because they eat the corn chips. And I'm like, no, because I've gone this far without it. I haven't had a protein bar since December 22nd. So no protein bars or anything like that for over 3 months. I haven't had any wraps in over January, February, March, 3 months. I haven't had any maltitol since November. I'm learning more and more that I can eat less and less with my fasting, so I save money and I buy like the little bit of better foods. And I like to save money. So saving money on the food and getting a little bit of a better food is a good option for me. But I am far into this. I am way far into this. I'm like 18 months into this. For those who are just starting out, I feel for those people. I really do. I feel for you because you come on here, you get on the internet and you start looking around, and there's all these people that have these amazing weight loss stories, and they lost it so quickly. And I feel bad because I did lose a lot of weight really quickly, and I don't know if that's just how my body is or what. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't know if I'm even going to edit this part out. Because I want to be real. That's what my channel is about. I'm not about trying to promote any one product or any one store or any one person. I want normal people. Everyday blue-collar people like me and my husband that have one income. We live paycheck to paycheck that want to try to do this. I'm not talking about the people who have the money to buy the healthy food and they don't do it. Okay, healthy food is a little more expensive, but when you eat it the right way and you don't overindulge, you can afford it. You really can. Like I was saying, touch back on the trip to Sprouts. The only thing that I bought that was new to me, really, that I haven't tried yet is the monk fruit sweetener. Because I do use stevia, which is the non-GMO organic. I do use a little bit of sucralose, like in those pre-made drinks. Not the pre-made drinks, but the coffee syrups that I get from Ross. You guys, I use those very sparingly because I can't always make a trip to Ross. And it took me forever. I think it was like 4 months before I found that peanut butter cup flavor. I am like measuring out tablespoon by tablespoon because I want to make it last. It's hard for me to find. And like I said in the one video, I'm down to 1 cup of coffee a day. Tea, I don't know. It changes. And I hate that because everybody watches that, like that first food video I put up. I had to take it down because I don't eat. My diet changes month to month, week to week, day to day. I only stick to the less than 20 carbs. For the month of March, I did a calorie refeed. I upped my calories for the whole month of March. And I feel leaner and better than I ever have. And I didn't do next to nothing for cardio to burn those calories off. So I'm excited to see what my weight is at the end of the month. I have a feeling it's going to be the same because everything kind of, well, I got to take that back. My jeans are looser. Didn't think about that. Because I did a no-scale March challenge with a lady on Instagram. So, I guess on the first day of April. Y'all will see those results over on Instagram if this video gets posted before then. I don't have an answer. All these questions coming at me, I just don't have an answer for you. When it comes to why did you do it, that's a multiple answer for that question. And how did you do it? I stayed under 20 carbs. Where did your willpower come from? I don't know. I like steak and cheese. I love steak and cheese. I like lettuce. I always have. That's not something new to me. There are new vegetables that I've learned to love, like asparagus. I learned to love that. Zucchini, which I just tried in the last 8 weeks, and I learned to love that. And cabbage. I tried cabbage for the first time like 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, I ate that like friggin' crack slaw for like a week straight. I did. It was really good. I didn't put all the ingredients that everybody else puts in the crack slaw because there was some of them that I couldn't find that were non-GMO. So it was basically just cabbage. And I used regular hot sauce, not the sriracha, because the sriracha had carbs in it. But it was the bacon fat, and then I cooked the cabbage in the bacon fat, hot sauce on top, salt, a couple drops of stevia, and the meat, whatever meat, whether it would be ground turkey or ground beef or pork or something. I put some type of meat in there. Lots of salt, lots of pepper, and some chili powder. Yeah. And I ate that for like a week straight. I am so sorry this video is so long. I did not mean for this to turn out like this. But the kids are actually staying out of my bedroom. So I have a minute to make the video. And I figured, I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about one topic today. That one out the window. I'm happy. Learn from me. I'm so happy with my life, with how I feel. I went to the park the other day and I got on the swings with my kids and I fit. I fit on the swing. I've never been able to do that. I watched all these moms just sitting on the benches on the sideline playing on their phones, and I was out there playing with my kids. I went down the slide with them. I played on the monkey bars. I've never been able to do that before. Ever. I hope all these doctors out there that are making YouTube videos and these other people that have done it for more than 2 or 3 years, I hope you're right. I hope that this is something that's not going to later on come back and bite me in my ass and shorten my lifespan, because I want to see my kids grow up. My mom made it to the age of 50. That was it. 50. She was extremely obese. She was a very thin person her whole life until her car accident. And then she was extremely obese and she was on so many medications, but she was pre-diabetic, but she was never diabetic. And I was just thinking the other day, if I could go back in time and change one thing in my life, it would be that I learned about this before she died, so I could have done it with her. Now, whether that would have kept her from having her heart attack or not, I don't know. But I think it would have been a better quality of life that she had, you know, those last few years. I wish I could have done that for her and for me. Now that I think about it, she had a book called Sugar Busters that sat on her TV stand, and I haven't bought that book, and I don't know where it's at. I think one of my sisters may have it. But now I want to go out and buy that book and read it, because I think one of her doctors had handed her this, or had suggested to her to get the Sugar Busters book. And I think from reading on the online description about Sugar Busters is it's about letting go of sugar. And if that's true, oh, if she was here today, I'd be like, Mama, why didn't you read that book? Why didn't you follow what it said? I don't know what it's about. So if you've read Sugar Busters, please put it in the description below. I'm sorry I cried. These are happy tears. They're happy and sad. The month of April is hard on me because that was the month I lost my mother, but I'm not going to binge this year. I didn't binge last year. I didn't eat things I wasn't supposed to last April, and I'm not going to do it this April. April's hard for me because that's that's when I lost my mama. But you know what? I don't need to do that anymore. If I'm going to binge on anything, it's going to be on calories. And I did this month. I went over my calorie limit because I did a caloric refeed.
because my metabolism needed a restart, and it has definitely made a difference this month. So, okay, I'm sorry this is so long. I didn't mean for it to be. I'll try to edit it down. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.